Dear viewers, welcome to the weekly roundup. Thanks for joining. We got big Alaloth news, an extensive Farthest Frontier devlog, the Sands of Aura and Lands Island roadmaps, and of course, plenty of releases and free games. I'm making an episode every single week, so if you enjoy this, subscribe. Let's dive in. Starting with reveals and announcements. Alaloth, Champions of the Four Kingdoms, was dead. Since November of last year, we hadn't heard about this game and people started fearing the worst. It turns out a conflict between the dev and the publisher was the root cause of their absence, and now the developers at Gamera Interactive have taken hold of their own game again, getting back the publishing rights. In an extensive Steam post, the devs furthermore state that development never stopped and that they can't show us what they've been working on. Yet, that is, because they will be showing us that in the near future. All the way back in 2017, Alaloth was already announced and their marketing included that the legendary Chris Avellone, writer of games like Baldur's Gate and Fallout, joined the project too. Planned release date back then was 2018. To say therefore Alaloth has seen some troubling times would be an understatement. It also means you should take any info coming from these devs with a grain of salt, especially when they state that the game will be released sooner than you think. I mean, it's kind of ironic. Regardless of that fair warning, I do have faith in the game itself, which looks still cool, has interesting ideas, especially in terms of real-time combat in a CRPG setting, with more gameplay reveals on the way. I'll keep covering this one as I've done for a long time now, back when these roundups were still on the main channel. Crate Entertainment released a new devlog about their upcoming city builder Farthest Frontier. They're going deeper into building your initial settlement, and let me give you a short summary of what this will be like. As with most city builders, you have a town hall, your main structure. From within its menus, you can monitor your people's happiness, health, resources, and work assignments. You're going to need to provide food for your settlers, however. At first, you can hunt game, fish, or forage things like berries that will run out, or it will fight back. Not the berries, but bears, maybe boars. In the long run, you will need farms to sustain. Water is going to be an issue as well, it seems. Although water can be found in lakes, those lakes can contain parasites and bacteria as well. This provides some insights in the sort of realism that Farthest Frontier will have, because I know of few city builders that even pose dilemmas when collecting basic stuff like water. Next thing they'll tell me is that your villagers can get killed while chopping down trees because a tree falls on their heads. The game already revealed that hunters need arrows to hunt and that miners get sick in the mines, so we are in for a rough, realistic, gritty implementation of the genre. The game broke down the various structures in the game too into 8 categories. There are service buildings like Trader's Post and a healer's hut. There's housing, pretty straightforward. The houses will require firewood for harsh winters, by the way, or everyone dies. There is storage. There are various structures for food production, which also includes food processing, like windmills. There are resource structures, like a well for fresh water or a firewood splitter. The game has defensive structures because of course you can get attacked by external threats. There are walls and roads, and the latter increase the movement of villages as with other games. And finally, decoration, making the village more desirable to live in and therefore raise the happiness of its inhabitants. Finally, the post states there are over 70 buildings when the game enters early access. That is a lot of buildings, people. Another building game with some survival and exploration elements, it is the cute indie Lands Island from Down Under. It's been a while since the last major update on this game. It was January, and it added the pagoda building style, but not a lot of new stuff to do. Mostly just this new decoration style, but no real significant changes. Around now, significant changes were planned, mainly controller support, but the devs realized and admitted that it was much more work than originally anticipated, and continuing on controller support right now would mean that other features, like gameplay features, would be delayed even further. So they let the community vote, delay the controller support or delay more game features. The vote was clear, to delay the controller support, and so this happened. And it got delayed by a lot. It will now be implemented close to the full release, which could be a year from now. For most people though, this is still good news because it means we're getting a new substantial patch fairly soon. In about 6 weeks, we get the fishing update. It brings the ability to purchase a fishing rod and fish in the ocean, ponds, cave pools and rivers. 6 new fish are added with cooked and uncooked variations, and you can cook those in the fireplace. Expect a new status effect and buff system. Various items can now apply passive or timed buffs to your character. Something neat is that your backpack, when you die, now drops on the ground. Currently, you lose all your resources when you die, but after this patch you can retrieve your bag to salvage your loot. Unless you die again before that, then it is actually gone. This is a much more forgiving system than before. There is an island level rework, reworking many sections of the main island, adding a small cave near the starter hut, reworking the raft campsite area and changing various bits of the landscape and foliage. Caves are reworked too, making them easier to navigate through, adding more details and diversity, and overall just polishing and tweaking what is there. The devs are enabling Steam cloud saving, so you can now sync your save files between computers. Recycling items now drops excess resources onto the ground. The patch features a new critter system. You will now notice groups of crabs on the beach that react to your movement and scurry around looking all cute. And then the usual bug fixes and stability issues that are addressed, of course. It's a beefy patch. And it's an amazing game, this one. I can't wait to dive back in. It should be a lot of fun with these new updates. The last roadmap update of this week, Sands of Aura. This is an open world action adventure featuring an engaging story and unrelenting Souls-like combat. It released into early access in October last year, and the last 6 months the dev capacity has been focused on bug fixing, stability, performance and combat feel of the game. The devs feel that the core gameplay is now in a good state, and the audience seems to agree looking at the reviews on Steam, sitting at a respectable 80% user rating. And that means now is the time for new content, which also may mean this might be a good time to step into the game if you like what you see. The new content includes a continuation of the story, new encounters, armor sets, weapon pommels and codexes, islands and more. At least 5 more patches are planned without any dates, by the way, which is smart. First of those patches is called Twin Thorns, and according to the post, the devs are quite close to releasing it. This patch contains a new island, a new boss, 5 new enemy types, gear up to level +8 and a tempered weapon codex. Proceeding with the patch plaza, bringing an overview of patch news, Vampire Survivors is ever expanding with 6 new achievements, tied to 6 new things of course, 1 new hard challenge stage, 1 new character, 1 new weapon, 1 more rank for reroll and skip power-ups, and 2 new arcanas. Have fun grinding it out. Additionally, a toggle was implemented in the stage selection screen to disable arcanas, including the mini-bosses that come with those. Circle Empire's Tactics released a big balancing patch. Previously, the difficulty in single player would adjust to your play, but they got rid of that and now have a more static difficulty which gradually gets harder. The tutorial is now a separate instance and the overall game speed is increased as well. Last Epoch released patch 0.8.5e, mostly buffing a bunch of set items which are currently very weak in Last Epoch, even after this patch I think, and it fixed the broken interaction between the Ashes of Immortality and the Humming Bee, resulting in characters with more than 100,000 ward and thousands of percentages of movement speed. It was pretty funny, but of course broken. Oh, and Ignite got buffed, again with another 5% more damage, and probably Poison is still the way to go, like it has been since, 3 years. Then releases, looking back quickly at what released last week. The Serpent Rogue, a botanical action adventure roguelite in which alchemy, potions and solving puzzles are the main gameplay mechanics, received decent critical scores, an 8 so far on OpenCritic. Steam is a bit less forgiving with an 68% user rating for this €20 game. Dune Spice Wars, the strategic RTS with 4X elements set in the famous universe of Dune, is available in early access for €30. It's not cheap for an early access title, but the audience loves it at a very respectable 83% user rating on Steam. King Arthur, A Knight's Tale, a unique hybrid between turn-based tactical games and traditional character-centric RPGs, went into a full release for €45. It's been well received with a recent user rating of 88% on Steam. Dorf Romantic, the relaxing town builder, is available for only €12. It left early access and recent reviews are at 95% and overall reviews at 97% with a total of 13,000 reviews. You can't go wrong on this one. Rogue Legacy 2, another success story, also leaving early access, and recent reviews are even higher, at a 96% user rating at the time of writing. Overall reviews are at 90%, which includes mostly early access reviews, another solid game right there, and it's available for €22. Unsold, available for €17, left early access. It is a less popular game, very difficult and Souls-like, but the reviews are doing okay. 82% user rating on Steam, and this game is a day one release on Game Pass as well, so you can try it out over there. Let's look ahead at what is releasing this week. This game is what you get when Dark Souls meets Tetris. It is Loot River and it releases on May 3rd. Explore procedurally generated labyrinths in a dungeon crawling action roguelike that combines tense real-time combat with spatial block shifting. Slide blocks of ancient ruins, fight bestial abominations, loot, explore, level up, strategize, cast powerful spells, die and wake up anew. I'm really hyped for this one. The hand-drawn pixel art style and moving around on the blocks just seems so cool. I guess this could be tough as nails, but it does tick all the boxes. Oaken enters early access on May 3rd. This is a roguelike hexagon turn-based card game, you know the type. Expect heroes to play around with, deck management, a mystical world inhabited by spirits with Celtic and tribal vibes, a randomly generated world map with tons of levels, bosses and events to be discovered, and I feel overall a solid game because it's published by Goblins and they have tons of these great tactical indie games. May 5th, we're getting something truly extraordinary. Track to Yomi releases then, the black and white samurai game that has just an amazing presentation. The cinematic camera angles, the atmospheric ambience, stylish combat, mystical soundtrack and mythic storytelling, it's all there. The game will be €17 on Steam, but the better deal is Game Pass of course, because it is a day one title over there as well. Another title coming May 5th, it is Warhammer 40k Chaosgate Deamonhunters. Lead humanity's greatest weapon, the Grey Knights, in this fast-paced, turn-based tactical RPG. Root out and purge a galaxy-spanning plague in a cinematic, story-driven campaign, using the tactics and talents of your own personalized squad of demon hunters. This seems reminiscent to Wasteland 3 or Gears Tactics. Warhammer games are a hit and miss and never cheap. This is going to be €44 for example, but I have been tracking the progress over time and I'm quite confident in it. Just be sure to wait for reviews before you get any Warhammer game, no matter how much you like the universe. Then this week's sort of free games, because I'm Dutch and I'm cheap. On Steam you can now play the first Elder Scrolls games for free, Arena and Daggerfall. They went free to play, I think indefinitely. These are games from 1994 and 1996 respectively, but if you want to see how this franchise all started for free, this is your chance. Epoch has two very weird games on offer this time. Just Die Already is an old people mayhem sandbox game created by the designers of Goat Simulator. You are old and angry and you've just been kicked out of your retirement home. How will you survive in a world that wants you to just die already? That is an excellent question that you can go figure out for yourself by getting this one for free. Also for free, and even weirder, Paradigm, a surreal adventure game set in the strange and post-apocalyptic Eastern European country of Cluj. There are a lot of East European countries with weird names after the fall of the Soviet Union, but I don't think Cluj is one of them. Play as the handsome mutant, Paradigm, whose past comes back to haunt him in the form of a genetically engineered sloth that vomits candy. I mean, yeah, okay. Uncle Phil and his Game Pass offer up 5 games, no less. Starting with Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, the best title of the episode for sure. Take control of an adorable turnip who happens to be an absolute menace to society. After failing to pay taxes and getting evicted from your home, you must go on an epic quest to pay back your massive debt to Mayor Onion. Then 7 Days to Die, a game that sold 14 million copies apparently and has been in early access for 7 decades. It's a zombie survival crafting open world game. Research and Destroy is a turn-based action game with simultaneous local or online co-op. take control of 3 brilliant scientists as you research and develop strange new weapons and gadgets to destroy the supernatural hordes that have all but crushed humanity. Unsold is available on Game Pass, I already covered that this episode. And then finally the game we've all been waiting for, the cutie, the magnificent, the adorable Bugsnax, ladies and gentlemen. Time for some personal updates. What have I been up to? More Last Epoch. I keep being committed to making guides on the main channel for this one until I'm getting bored of it. So far, so good. Frost Minion guide will be released soon. I've been playing Nenix, the space shooter ARPG, and I'm finding it a rather tough game actually in quite a few aspects. I'll play it some more. I am 3 hours in and somehow I seem to be missing some upgrades, I feel, because the boss I'm supposed to kill in basically the first quest is completely destroying me and I'm not really sure what's going on. I have some other criticisms as well, which I might put into a video on this channel. And I've been playing Path of Exile on my solo self-found account still, just running maps with my character, enjoying it while I can. This league I got a headhunter from an ancient orb and I found a squire shield, so I just turned it into a lightning strike raider with omniscience and it is a ton of fun. This is probably the last time I will run around with those items in solo self-found, so I'm enjoying it for now. And that's it. If you have any questions or remarks, put them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did or you want more like this, consider liking the video or even subscribing. Thanks for watching and making it to the end. Love you all, see you soon. Bye bye.